Welcome back to the Digital Asset Report. Bitcoin is holding around the mid 60,000s this week, with Ether at nearly 1,900 and Solana around $80. The tape has been choppy, but the bigger story is not price. It's how quickly stablecoin plumbing is getting pulled into the US banking perimeter. Stripe's stablecoin infrastructure unit Bridge just landed conditional approval from the OCC to set up a national trust bank. If Stripe converts that conditional approval into a final charter, Bridge would be able to offer regulated custody, stablecoin issuance and orchestration, and reserve management for enterprises and financial institutions. Stripe bought Bridge in October 2024 for a reported $1.1 billion, and this is the clearest signal yet that a mainstream payments giant wants stablecoins to live inside a federal framework. On Friday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Congress should pass the Digital Asset Clarity Act and get it to President Donald Trump's desk this spring. He framed it as a confidence issue for a market that still trades uncertainty, and he warned the bipartisan coalition could get harder to hold together as the election cycle heats up.
The overall crypto community, in a time when we are having one of these historically volatile sell-offs, I think some clarity on the clarity bill would give great comfort to the market, and we could move forward from there. So it's very important to get this done. And I think if the Democrats were to take the House, which is far from my best case, then the prospects of getting a deal done will just fall apart. Look what the Democrats did to crypto under the Biden administration. It was almost an extinction event, and President Trump has worked to make the U.S. the digital asset capital of the world. There's a lot of innovation that goes on adjacent to crypto in the blockchain, in DeFi. So I think it's important to get this clarity bill done as soon as possible and on the president's desk this spring.
Outside of Washington, the same tension showed up at the World Liberty Forum at Mar-a-Lago, hosted by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump this week. Prominent figures like Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon, NASDAQ CEO Adena Friedman, Franklin Templeton CEO Jenny Johnson, NYSE President Lynn Martin, and CFTC Chair Michael Selig attended the event. The Trump brothers expressed their long-term views on Bitcoin, stating that they have never been more bullish on the asset.
And I know stablecoin is different than Bitcoin, but you've been big proponents and bullish on Bitcoin as well.
We still are. I'm a huge proponent of Bitcoin. I do think it hits $1 million. I think it's one of the greatest performing asset classes. Go back 2 years. Bitcoin was at, 16,000? Where is it at right now? 70?
Yeah.
If you look at the last 10 years, Bitcoin has gone up 70% a year on average, year over year for the last decade. Name an asset class that has performed better than Bitcoin. And now, obviously, you have lots of volatility. If you don't want volatility, go invest in some muni. Go have a great time. Go invest in some treasury. You're going to have volatility with something that has tremendous upside. But I've never been more bullish on Bitcoin in my life. I've never been more bullish on cryptocurrency in my life.
The regulatory backdrop is a market structure bill still stuck on one of the stickiest issues in crypto policy. That is, should stablecoins be paired with yield? The Digital Chamber published a set of stablecoin principles on February 13th, pushing back on bank proposals that would effectively ban rewards and warning that a hard prohibition could freeze out legitimate payment innovation and liquidity. Banks are framing it as a deposit issue. A Reuters column last week highlighted industry claims that as much as $6 trillion of deposits could migrate if stablecoins can pay yield indirectly. The report also noted that stablecoin reserves still sit inside the financial system, often in treasuries or bank deposits. Despite the apparent gridlock over stablecoin yields, CFTC Chair Selig maintained that a market structure bill agreement is very close.
Well, thanks to the president's leadership, we are on the cusp of getting clarity enacted into law. The regulation by enforcement's over, the Genius Act signed into law, and we've really turned a new page. And I would say the United States today is the crypto capital of the world.
The CME Group announced today that it will enable 24/7 trading of regulated crypto futures and options starting May 29th. Trading will run continuously on Globex with a short weekly maintenance window, and weekend trades will clear on the next business day. The process is currently pending regulatory review. Meanwhile, lender Nexo is making a very deliberate re-entry into the U.S. market 3 years after it exited following a $45 million settlement tied to its lending product. Nexo is coming back through a partnership with Bakkt, offering crypto-backed loans and yield-generating products via licensed U.S. partners, including an SEC-registered investment advisor where needed. Bitcoin miners are also still rewriting their playbook. Activist investor Starboard Value pressed Riot Platforms to accelerate AI and HPC data center deals, arguing that Riot's Texas sites at Corsicana and Rockdale offer about 1.7 gigawatts of available power. Starboard is pushing Riot's management to move with urgency while the AI hosting land grab is still in motion. This week also delivered another example of how fast an Oracle issue can turn into real losses. DeFi lender Moonwell disclosed that a misconfigured Oracle briefly price-wrapped ETH at about $1 instead of roughly $2,200, triggering liquidations and leaving the protocol with about 1.8 million in bad debt. Putting it all together, stablecoins are being pulled toward bank charter rules. Congress is still wrestling with whether rewards belong in the system, and miners are chasing higher margin AI computing. Crypto users should remain vigilant of common attack vectors. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like and follow along for more.